Erev Shabbat Shalom, Chanukah Sameach. This year, something very special is happening with our Torah portions. Something rare, unique, it doesn't happen for decades. Normally on Shabbos Chanukah, we read Parshat Miketz. It's the parsha we associate with Chanukah. It's about Yosef and the Paro and the dreams and the grains and all that amazing stuff. Not this year. This year, because of a confluence of calendar events, we read Parshat Vayeshev. Very rare that we read Parshat Vayeshev on Chanukah, and we'll go a whole Chanukah without reading Miketz. It only happens every couple decades. The last time it happened was 20 years ago. I'm not sure the next time it will happen. It'll be many years from now. I think it's actually very appropriate for 2020 to not read Miketz on Chanukah. Why? Miketz and Vayeshev are the two maybe central parts of the Yosef narrative. They're about Yosef's starting as the beloved child of Yaakov, and then his tumbling descent into the pit, into slavery, into Paro's jail. That's Vayeshev. And then Miketz is the story of Yosef ascent. He starts in the jail and he goes up and up till he becomes a servant to Paro, a helper of Paro, like Paro, ruling all of Egypt, and saves the nation. So Vayeshev and Miketz are the V. Vayeshev, Yosef goes down, and Miketz, Yosef starts to go up. Normally on Shabbos Chanukah, we read Yosef going up. We start adding lights. Miketz, time of redemption, freedom, time of hope and opportunity and possibility. So Miketz is a very fitting parsha. Starts in great darkness and goes up. This year, it's a little bit like a Beit Shammai year. We start with a lot of light, Yosef, the beloved child, and then the light diminishes till it gets very dark by the end of Parshat Vayeshev. I think it's appropriate for 2020, a year of some extra darkness and extra difficulty, that we don't read the maybe more optimistic Parshat Miketz, but we read the more sobering Parshat Vayeshev on Chanukah. However, what I love about Parshat Vayeshev is that we know the end of the story. We know things are going to work out. And if you look in Parshat Vayeshev, even though so many things are going wrong, so many things are going wrong for Yosef, things are going wrong for Yehuda, for Yaakov, for Reuven. Every character has things going wrong. The ultimate redemption for each of those characters is seated in this week's parsha. How? Yehuda, for example. Very powerful, interesting story about his foibles and stumbling with Tamar. Yehuda's ultimate redemption in Parshat Vayigash is foreshadowed in this parsha when he steps forward and admits he was wrong and takes responsibility. That's what's going to lead to his redemption later on in Parshat Vayigash. Reuven, very complicated character, lots of mistakes and struggles. He is someone who protests against what's happening to Yosef, and that will be ultimately the seeds of his redemption later on in Tanakh as well. And Yosef, of course, starts off arrogant and thinking, everyone's going to serve me and I'm the best. And of course, he suffers a great decline and a great fall. And yet, he seeks out his brothers. Going out and I'm looking for my brothers. And that same sense of looking for my brothers, even though they've done him harm, even though there's so much pain, that's what's ultimately going to redeem him later on when he brings his brothers to Mitzrayim and acknowledges them and reveals himself to them and reunites the family and redeems the Jewish people, and the effects of that go on forever still to this day. So all the seeds of the ultimate redemption of Reuven, Yehuda, Yosef are planted in this week's parsha, even though things are very dark. And what I want to offer this Parshat Vayeshev, this Chanukah, where we don't read Miketz, where we don't gather and celebrate the way we normally do, where it's not just simple joy like maybe in other years, to think about the ways that our future redemptions are being planted right now, even in darkness, even in complicated moments, even when things are painful, to trust that by the choices that we make, the good choices that we make, the ways that we reach out, the ways that we do ethical, behaviors, the way that we connect to people who are in need, to know that our future redemption, we can't even predict it, we don't know what it'll be like, but to know that our future redemptions are being planted now. That the seeds to the joy and the coming together and the achdus and the connections that we all yearn for are being founded right now, they're being planted right now. So let's trust in that. Let's trust that even though it's Vayeshev Chanukah, not Miketz Chanukah, things are a little darker than normal. Let's trust that in the darkness, we are lighting lights. And those lights are going to grow. We're going to start with 1 light, then 2 lights, then 3 lights, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The light's going to grow and grow in the world inside of us. And redemption, Yeshua, will come. We've got to stick it out a little while longer, but good days are coming ahead. Better days are coming ahead. Let's really have trust and faith in that, and let's keep planting the seeds for the redemption in our lives and in the lives around us for the days to come. Shabbat Shalom, Happy Chanukah, and we'll see you on the Zoom and see you at the night walk and see you at the drive-through experience. A lot of great things coming up. Make sure to check your emails, and we'll celebrate Hanukkah together. Shabbat Shalom.